What is going on, everybody? This is so stupid. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be doing an uninterrupted 10-minute yapping session. This is an attempt to get all of my words out before I have to go see my friends because I can't stop talking at the moment. It's really quite upsetting. If someone asks me how I've been, if someone asks me how my week has been, it is a solid like 10 to 15 minute like recap situation. My theory is if I do it here, then I will be far more sociable and open to other forms of conversation at the bar. First off, I'm just going to update you about my life. So basically, update. I have never even done an update. Hold on. This week we did a lot of work. We posted a new Minecraft video on the Ilsa channel, which I worked on. It was a little bit stressful getting this most recent video out because I had to take Friday off because I needed to go to Sydney to see my mum. And I will insert a video of us at the Opera House here. And it was a really cute time. We had so much fun. I flew over just for one night because she was visiting Sydney from New Zealand, and we had the best time. We went to Toddy's in Bondi. If you're from Sydney, you get it. We went to Jam Record Bar. Shout out my friend Janeda for the recommendation. Beautiful place. Very lovely music on, and the bartenders were super nice. I actually can't remember the breakfast spot that we went to, but it was also really good. And I had Southern Fried Chicken Eggs Benedict. Are you kidding? Now, there was only a few things that I was not really enjoying going to Sydney. And number one is planes. Me personally, not a huge fan of planes. I like to say I can do short flights. Short flights piss me off because you're spending half the time on the tarmac. Like, you're boarding at 5:40 and then you spend half an hour on the plane before you take off, and then you're spending an hour and a half in the air, and then it's like a good 20 minutes from touchdown to exiting the vehicle. The waiting time, the 50 minutes there, really frustrates me. As someone that is a walker, as someone that is a public transport warrior, I like to be always on the move. If I have to wait 5 minutes for the tram, I'm walking to the next stop. I do not stop moving unless I'm sitting at that desk out there and editing. That is the only time I'm still throughout the day. I'm not a huge fan of flying. I did spend the time reading my book, which has been a really good book. I'm reading Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney at the moment. I read Normal People at the start of the year. Beautiful books. I really like how smart everyone is in the book. It is so fun, and everyone is flirting with each other, but they're all really intelligent, and I quite enjoy it. Yeah, so I read my book on the plane, which was fine. My posture was really bad. I can insert maybe a drawing of like potentially what my posture kind of looked like. So I was reading my book on the plane, and the guy next to me, do you know when you can see, there was a couple next to me, but you know when you can see like a guy out in public, and I really am trying not to be disrespectful here, but once I had eyes on this man, I could tell that he was a little bit of a prick. Just by the visuals and the way that he was like moving through the aisles of the airplane really aggressively, it was quite frustrating. So I'm sitting quite far back in the plane, and him, and I'm assuming his girlfriend or partner is to the right of me, and he storms past our seat because he sees an open spot in the baggage in the far a couple rows back. And so in the middle of this busy boarding airplane, storms through, pushes through, puts his stuff up, and then has to slowly crawl back, holding everyone else up. And that is just a selfish play. I would have waited patiently for everyone in front of me to sit down. I would have gone up, put my things nicely in the overhead, or I would have tried to find a space closer to my seat. He sits down, doesn't buckle his seatbelt. That's number 2 red flag. I am big on airplane safety, okay? I'm just saying, like, we should be wearing our seatbelts on the plane. He doesn't buckle it, and I'm sitting here like, actually, let me pull out my notes for this one because I did write it down. So we were flying Jetstar, right? And Jetstar is known to be one of the budget airlines. To have the gall, to have the ego to sit there without his seatbelt on a Jetstar flight baffled me. It absolutely baffled me because you know why? There is no place for ego here. We are all, we are all saving our money by flying this airline. There was 5 other Qantas flights today. There was 5 other Virgin Australia flights today. We chose Jetstar. We chose to save the money. Leave your ego at the door. And then the final gripe for this man, it's not really a gripe. It's just something that I found really funny because of my pre-impression of this man that did not buckle his seatbelt and push through the line to put his bag away. Am I just thinking, I'm like talking about this now and I'm like, am I just like thinking about this way too much? But I was bored on the plane, so this man is copping some heat. The final thing that I will say that really also kind of plays into the ego thing is that him and his partner ordered white wine and cheese and olives on Jetstar flight. It just also felt like a little bit of an ego play or a little bit of an I'm too good for this play. Bring it in. On my way back on the Jetstar flight home, had a free seat next to me, lovely man next to me, got to the airport on time, got back to Melbourne, went to work, went home, went back to work, and then I was done. The video was done. I was stoked, and that night, so I submit my video at around noon and it gets approved, finalized, so stoked. That night we had a birthday bash, all right? Shout out to my friend. He had his 25th birthday party. I got to see people that I hadn't seen in forever. I was wearing my new jeans. Oh my gosh, didn't even tell you about the jeans. I got my dream pair of denim while I was in Sydney because I had been looking at them online for so long. They're called Sushi from this place. Oh, what was it called? I can't remember. They were the only people in Australia that really had the jeans that I wanted in my size in store. Everything else was online, and I don't really want to buy my denim online. I like to try it on first. So when I was in Sydney, we went over to Newtown, we went and had a look at the shop, and I picked up the jeans that I really wanted. And I'll insert my TikTok that I made hard launching my new jeans. I guess I'm double hard launching now. I think that's really it for my Sydney trip. Had so much fun, got to hang out with my sister as well. That was really lovely. Sorry, I went on a tangent, didn't I, about the jeans. We showed up to this 25th birthday party and I was looking my best. I showed up, immediately ran into one of my best friends who I hadn't seen in a while. We got to hang out. It was really lovely. I didn't get home until like 4:30 in the morning, and that was just a lovely time. We kicked on at my friend David's house. How good. I was playing Fortnite. I was having a great time. I was having the best time, actually. And I think that really does bring us to today. I woke up on Sunday very, very drained, very tired, quite hungover. And I spent the day kind of in bed. I haven't finished Conversations with Friends yet, but I've watched the show now up until the point where I'm at. And my favorite thing is when I'm reading a book and I have all of the pictures of the characters in my head. I have their mannerisms in my head. Like Sally Rooney obviously does a really good job at explaining like characters and their emotions, but had a picture of like a lot of these people in my brain, and I hadn't seen anything about the show, and the people in the show were exactly how I thought they were in the book. It was such a fun watch because everyone was just how I pictured them. And I think that's really it. I watched my show. Oh, I took myself out to dinner by myself yesterday as well. I was feeling very antisocial, but also really wanted to like have a nice meal. So I decided to go to a Japanese restaurant right by my house. And then I went to the supermarket, grabbed my lunch food for the week, which this week I'm having ham sandwiches, baby, and also ham sandwiches, but with coleslaw. But sometimes I make one of each because, you know, the lack of coleslaw does add something to the sandwich. And then that brings me to today. I've just been at work. I've finished my work pretty much for the day. I'm just waiting to hear back on some revisions, and I decided to set up the camera for 15 minutes and film my yapping session. And right after this, I'm going to go edit it and see if it's any good. So if you're seeing this, I guess I thought it was good enough. But yeah, that was my week. I hope that getting all of this out now to the camera really helps me not talk about myself. So I just find like recently, like I get a little nugget of interest into what I'm doing and I just run with it. I run with it so far. I really need to cut back on that. So this is my way of cutting back on it. Even if it doesn't get posted, I will have said this now. And when I go to trivia tonight with my besties, I'm going to be focusing solely on the questions, and I'm going to be living a little bit more mysteriously. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day. In the future, I would also like to incorporate showing you guys my favorite TikToks in these videos because it would be really fun. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. So this is a little bonus yap at the end of the session. I had a great time at trivia. This is the next day. Totally got all of my words out before I needed to go. I definitely saw improvement, and that is all we can ask for here. I hope you have a lovely day. I'm gonna go tack this footage onto the end of the video now, and I will see you in the next yapping session.